This is another review. This time I'll be reviewing Black AF, which is a new mini-series on Netflix starring creator of Blackish, Grownish, and Mixish, Mr. Kenya Barris. On the show, he's married and he's the father of 6 children. His wife's name is Joya, and the names of the children are Drea, Chloe, Izzy, Papa, Cam, and the youngest, Brooklyn. I won't say any lie. When I started this mini series, I was like, oh, Kenya Barris as an actor. I know him as a good producer and writer. So at first, for the first couple of episodes, I would say I was a little bit skeptical because I was like, okay, one, his voice, I wasn't a fan of it, and also I'm like, oh, I don't think acting is really for him. He probably should have cast someone else. I could think of several black actors, in fact, who he could cast. But to tell the truth, as it went on, I kind of grew to like him. I wouldn't say love him, but I grew to like him. And it was interesting to see that he had a lot of black directors and writers on the show. He had the great Tyler Perry. That segment was really good. How Tyler was just telling him that, listen, I don't really care what people think about my work as long as I know that I'm representing the culture that I want to on screen. I'm going to keep pushing out the films and movies that I do. There was also a very funny scene, in fact, where he had 5 well-known movie directors to include Ava, Issa, and they were basically talking about him as a writer, and it was really funny. I like that he took jabs at himself because obviously he wrote the show, so he was the one who was taking jabs at himself. There was also a part of it that looked at the dynamics of his wife. His wife on the show is a lawyer. I say is because even though she's not practicing anymore, she's still a member of the bar, and she makes that very clear in the show. And she basically gave up her career to be a stay-at-home mom, when really and truly it's staff who is taking care of her children, especially the youngest one, Brooklyn. Like, I can't even remember if I've ever seen her hold Brooklyn, or if I saw her hold Brooklyn through the entire show. But I guess that's what happens when you're rich. Other people take care of your children, and you don't need to hold them because you're busy doing other things like going to the spa. I guess I don't know. But as the show progressed, you see that Joya was no longer satisfied with just being a stay-at-home mom. She started looking into writing her own book, and that caused several issues with Kenya, whose character is actually Kenya on the show, because he had an agreement, as he stated, with his wife, and he felt like she was going back on her promise by trying to take on several things. And the reality is that is what happens in a lot of families, especially when it comes to the woman's career. Some men, not all, some men cannot handle the woman being as successful or more successful, and so when they see their female spouse trying to achieve certain goals, it might be a little difficult for them to deal with, to handle. But by the end of the show, the series, the mini series, we see that Kenya's character came on board. But I think Joya let him off a bit too easy just by him turning up to her book signing and I guess supporting her. She found that as sufficient, but what happens after the book signing, I'm very interested to see that. Another part that was a good watch was the chemistry between Drea, who actually is the reason that this entire show exists, because she decided to do a documentary for her application to the NYU Film Academy, and we see Drea's interaction with her older sister Chloe, who is this 18-year-old who of course is all about Instagram and the likes, and she doesn't really pay attention to her family. The other children, Izzy, Papa, and Cam, they are in their own little world. Izzy is very aggressive, not only to her younger siblings but her older siblings as well, and her parents. Everybody's afraid of Izzy, it seems. What I didn't like is that the children use a lot of curse words to their parents, and traditionally in a black family especially, children don't speak to their parents that way. I know that they're trying to be very, I guess, forward thinking, don't be the stereotypical black family, but I didn't like that part, and I'm glad that when Tyler Perry came into the mix, he was like, yo, respect is clearly out the door in terms of the dynamics between the parents and the children. So I like that he mentioned that. I think for if there's a season 2, they should think about correcting that part. There should still be some respect. Like, I don't think, even though you're supposed to have a close relationship with your parents, they are not your friends. In terms of the way you speak to your friends, you should definitely not be speaking to your parents. And if it does happen, it should not be something that is the norm. It should just be an unusual activity, an exception rather than the rule. So in total, the show has 8 episodes, and as I said, the start was a bit slow in terms of liking Kenya as the main character, but as the show went on, I was fine with it. I think they packed a lot of content in a very short period of time. Nia Long was also featured on the show, and I'm a big fan of Nia Long, so I was happy to see her. There were some other some other actors, like, I can't remember that comedian's name. Omar, it might be Omar Epps, yes. He was also featured. So all in all, I would give it a 3 out of 5. I'm looking forward to seeing what season 2 has to offer, if there's a season 2. So that's it for me. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm gonna ask you, of course, to subscribe, to share this video, to comment below, tell me what you think about Black AF. Oh, and there was a whole lot of reference to slavery, so if you don't want to see one of those black movies or black shows, this is not the one, because they hammer in a lot of details about slavery and how black people are overlooked, and the treatment of young black girls in society, the treatment of black boys in society, 1 in 4 black men going to prison. So I'm just telling you from now, be very open-minded about that, because it is dealt with extensively in the show, and you also get a lot of information about who Kenyan Barris is as the writer, how he came up with a lot of his shows, in particular that they are focused on the black family. All right, so thank you, until next time, bye.